It's a potential deadly decision thousands of people make every single day. In 2010 alone, distracted driving wrecks have killed more than 3,000 people. And experts say texting while driving is the #1 distraction for drivers. Tonight in a Fox 10 News special report, I take a closer look at how just a few seconds and a simple conversation can change your life forever. It weighs more than 1,000 pounds and can speed down the highway with just a slight push on the accelerator. Cars rule the road, but the driver calls the shots. And when a driver is distracted, there can be fatal consequences.
If you met her, you were her friend.
18-year-old Megan Warman was a vibrant teenager at Crestview High School. We first told you her story early last year. She played volleyball, had 2 jobs, and her college education at Northwest Florida State College was paid for through a scholarship. Megan was already taking college courses and was on her way to class when she began texting while driving.
It wasn't an important text message that was earth-shattering or anything like that. And it was a conversation, but there was also multiple people that were texting. So the person that she texted last, if you want to call it that, would never know.
Megan's father, Rusty Fine, says Megan was rounding a curve off Highway 85 when she lost control. But
it looks like when she went off the road, she tried to correct, and when she tried to correct and turn the wheel, that front wheel dug in, and then the car flipped over 6 or 7 times.
Rusty remembers the moment he was told his daughter was involved in a wreck. He quickly began driving to the scene, but was told what no parent wants to hear.
And then he told us, don't bother coming here, just drive right to Pensacola, because she's being... Give me a second. So he said, just meet us in Pensacola. And, we knew we knew when he told us to go to Pensacola that it was bad.
Megan was airlifted to Sacred Heart Hospital. She was taken to the critical care unit. She was in a coma and on life support. Her friends and family began showing up, and the praying began.
Her classmates came in thinking, I'm going to see Megan. She's going to get better. Because, when you're young, that nobody dies to speak of. I mean, everybody gets better.
But Megan didn't get better. After 11 days in the hospital, Megan passed away because she had major brain damage. A simple conversation, one small decision, and likely a few seconds, and her young life ended. Rusty went right to work, keeping his daughter's memory alive. He began taking her damaged car to nearby high schools to show the dangers of texting while driving.
It takes once to hit an oncoming car, or in this case, go into the median and try to correct, and your car flips over.
So why do so many drivers continue to play with fire and text and drive? The only distracted driving research lab in Alabama is in Birmingham. I went there for answers. Despina Starvinos is a research director and professor at University of Alabama, Birmingham. Since 2009, she has conducted a number of studies on distracted driving.
It could be putting on makeup, a pet in the vehicle, other passengers, anything, again, that takes your attention off of the road and places it onto something else.
But Starvino says texting is the fastest growing distraction. She believes the desire to stay connected is stronger than ever.
Experts say on average it takes about 4.5 seconds to send a text message. Moving at 55 miles per hour, that's like traveling the length of a football field with your eyes closed.
Researchers call texting while driving the perfect storm. Every form of distraction is at play. Visually, your eyes are off the road. Physically, at least one of your hands is off the wheel.
And most importantly, you're using your mind to compose that text, to read it, and to respond to it. So that's what's really going on in that 4.5 seconds.
So why would drivers test the limits and drive blindly? Starvinos calls it the invincible factor.
Well, what happens is you send a text message and nothing happens. You're safe. You didn't crash that time. You were okay. So it reinforces for that driver that, hey, I can do this. it's all right. Nothing happened to me.
But at her research lab, there is a way to show how most drivers are not immune to the dangers of texting while driving.
Please place your foot on the brake and keep it there until instructed to do otherwise. In this drive, you will experience a variety of driving situations and tasks.
Starvinos uses a driving simulator at her research lab to show how drivers react to the unexpected. Wait! The simulator works like a video game. You drive through several scenarios, like pedestrians crossing the street or a quick change in traffic, all while checking your text messages. Any family on the East Coast? Actually, yes. Oh! After the test is complete, the drivers told the results, and for many participants, the results are terrifying.
11 minutes that you were behind the wheel, you crashed a total of 5 times in that 11 minutes.
The simulator is a more amped up version of the real thing. Some walk away changed, but for thousands of people who text and drive, what will be their wake-up call?
That's really the challenge we're up against. How do we get them to change their minds? How do we debunk their misperceptions about it? And I'm not sure what the answer is at this point.
Starvinos will continue to study deadly distractions, and she hopes her work will sway drivers to put their phones away. Rusty hopes the images of his daughter's destroyed car and the twinkle in Megan's eye will urge drivers to think twice. Texting while driving is against the law in more than 35 states. Alabama banned texting while driving back in August. In Mississippi, there's a partial ban. But in Florida, where Megan lived and died, texting while driving is not a primary offense. If you'd like to get that law changed in Florida, we have some contact information for you on our website, Fox 10.